Why would anyone want to listen to us?
Like, it slaps harder than a sissy fight.
It's like, oh, dang, these girls are about to jump ship. We got to get it together.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. That was great. You cursed on a podcast and you like don't do that, and that's so funny.
About my fairy book.
Welcome back to Out of the Group Chat podcast. I'm one of your guests, Brooke, Nicole Isley, Clay Taylor. This is Hannah Moe and Mary Kate Scott Pedigo. We're happy to be here. We actually just saw each other in person for the first time in 3 years. Welcome back.
Hi, my name is Brooke. My name is Brooke and the audio is working.
I can hear you.
Oh, she's here making a. Oh, you're both wearing the hat? I didn't get the hat.
When she first popped on, I was like, jinx.
Can I buy a hat online? I'm going to be honest. Every time I walked past merch, I was like, I'm not standing in that line.
My friend Christina stuck it out because she wanted a poster really bad. And so she just snagged one for all of us. When we went to the Midway thing, which totally overwhelmed me, and I turned around and like walked right out of there, everybody's like, they're sold out. They're sold out. They don't have any more hats. No, they did.
Yeah, I luckily had my friends that had gone the night before said there was more merch inside, so we knew to not stick it out outside. But I saw on a post somewhere that said Cody like came on and said that there was going to be more merch online, but they didn't want to post it until after the concert so that like people couldn't mimic it, I guess.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But you're doing another concert in Waco. Oh,
I should have put mascara on. You guys look cute, and I did everything besides that.
I think I saw you the other day.
Snap, you did. I was trying to think when before this was the last time we were all in the same place at the same time, and I think it's been years.
Broken Bow.
Was it? So I was pregnant.
2022.
I was
the last time we were all in the same place at the same time.
And now I have a 3-year-old, so.
Hey, Mike, I'm not looking down. I'm just multitasking and trying not to lose my mind. Because this is my Friday, and it's only Wednesday, but tomorrow I have to take my kid to the doctor, and then Friday, it's summer Friday, so my kid doesn't have school, so this is my Friday, and I'm a little stressed out about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Can I tell you guys a funny story? Brooke, I think I told you the story, but Hannah, I don't think you heard about our journey to Stillwater. My husband, it's always an adventure with him. We road trip to Stillwater, right, with 2 other couples, and we stop at some like random gas station. I don't know if we were in Oklahoma yet or still on the Texas side.
Well, surely if you didn't stop at a Buc-ee's, you had to.
Well, we did. No, we stopped at the Buc-ee's, but this was like
I love a pulled pork sandwich from a Buc-ee's.
Same, that's what I had.
Beaver nugget all day, every day. So we stop at this random gas station, go to the bathroom. We get back on the road. 5 minutes down the road, Joseph from the front of the Suburban goes, "Hey, Mary, call my cell phone." I'm like,
oh, pause. Do you not have him on Find Friends so you can just ping his device?
So here's the thing. So I'm like, so I get on Find Friends, and sometimes there's like a lag time on loading the location, because I was like watching Hannah the whole entire time. We were racing. Like we would like swap, trying to go at 45. Okay, so don't see his phone. I get on his watch and try to ping it. Nothing. He goes, "I think I accidentally threw it away in the trash."
How does that happen?
This isn't a retainer.
Oh no. I don't know. And I was like, "What do you mean you think you accidentally threw it away?"
I still have my retainer.
And like, what sparks you to think, "Oh, it's probably in the trash"? And I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me, right? So we turn back around and head back, okay? So finally his location refreshes, and I'm like, yeah, it's showing to me still at this gas station. So my thing is like, imagine the other people at the gas station that have no context of what's going on. A Suburban pulls up to this random gas station. 2 people get out. We beeline it to the trash can. I look inside. Sure enough, pull out his phone, and we go back to the car and we take off. We looked like we did a drug drop. 100%. Or we were like picking up his burner phone out of the trash can. Son of a this stupid thing.
I can hear you now.
I can't even tell you a story because it's kicking me out.
No, we heard it, and then it caught you right at son of a Thankfully, the only thing that happened like that, I was pulling back onto the road and Carly was like, and she's like, I definitely set it on the thing in the toilet at the Starbucks. I'm like, here, call it.
Hey, gang.
Guess who's back? Back again.
I'm feeling Brooke's struggles right
Frustrating.
now.
Because listen, I'm on a call of some sort many hours a day, and it's never an issue. But then we meet for a podcast, and the internet fairies are like, nope.
And we have fiber. What the heck?
Well, I'm using Starlink, but mine's fine. And mine was fine last time.
Yeah, it's going to be your turn next time.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
I feel something lately because obviously we know we all read a lot, right? And I read a lot.
You have feelings?
I know.
You have feelings?
I know, it's weird. I'm just going to try to test this out and see if it works. But lately, I have felt like I have book deja vu. I've been reading books and I'm like, I swear I have read this book before.
Is it because you see TikToks about them?
No, it's like not that I've seen a video about it or anything. I feel like I've read this book. So I was like doing a deep dive, trying to dig up all my Kindle history, everything. Because I'm reading the Kane Brothers series by Megan Quinn. I'm like, I know I've read these books. And then there was like a few books before that. I'm like, I feel like I've read this. So my thing is A, are they ripping off other books? Like, are they all ripping each other off? Or B, it made me think, like, what if they wrote the book and then rebranded it and like relaunched it because it didn't do well? So they kind of went in and changed some things, changed the cover, changed the title. Maybe the author has a new pen name and like launches it again.
No, I think that makes sense because then they get with maybe a publishing house and then like they finally get an editor, like they self-published, and then the editor's like, if we want to be behind you, we need some changes, right?
Or what if it's just because you're reading a lot of the same trope and it feels similar?
Maybe.
Get a different niche.
I've had one or two where I'm pretty sure I've read them before, but they were, I don't know if they were fantasy or I think mystery. Mystery books do that to me where I'm like, I think I might have read this mystery book before, or like thriller type books.
Okay, so yesterday I met with a potential new coaching client and we had like a consult just to see if it's something we wanted to pursue. And it was kind of like a working session. We had this conversation and she said something that made me really happy. And she said something to the effect of, no one knows exactly what I'm doing in life. Not in a, we don't know what you're doing, we don't know what you do to make a paycheck, but like no one knows who my clients are or how many clients I have or any of that. It's very elusive. And I haven't stopped thinking about it because I love it so much. Because I don't know if I've intentionally done that, but I enjoy it. Like I'm not someone who's always saying, here's all of the client work I've done, here's all of this stuff, but people know what I do and what it is. They just don't know who I'm doing it for. I love being Oz behind the curtain. And I felt like I did it. I did exactly what I kind of wanted to do. And yes, I don't want someone to know if I have 7 clients or 2 clients or 32 clients. It doesn't matter. It's none of their business. And I enjoy that. And I wanted to share. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
No, it's a good feeling.
I also enjoy that because I have some local clients that I don't tell people about. And so people will say something about that business. And I'm like, oh, yeah. That's me behind there the whole time.
So Brooke, you sent it. The TikTok from Mel Robbins about my fairy book.
Yeah, I felt, I have feelings, Mary Kate. They're things that happen inside your chest that like, they're like an emotion, like anger, sadness. And did she just hang up on us?
She was like, no feelings, can't do it.
No, anyway, I felt like she threw me under the bus by that.
Mel
reading this book.
I'm listening. There's like one, so in between like the fourth one, because there's 5. I'm re-listening to it, and it's more of like a softer version. Like they call it a novella because it's not like a 22-hour book.
It's anytime I talk, it's just like, nope, can't do that.
Well, now there's 2 screens open, so maybe it'll hold up. But Mel Robbins listened to the dramatized version, which I listened to.
Well, we chatted about that, and we decided
it seemed intense. Yeah,
to do that.
I like a dramatized, like, podcast. I haven't listened to one in a while, like Limetown, especially on long drives.
What do you mean dramatized? Explain that.
So it's like a full cast. So you're still just listening to it, but it's like there's
It's
someone
not
like
one person changing their voice and be like, I'm talking like a man. I'm talking like a little girl. It's like actual characters.
and there's like music and you can hear the person walking through the woods. Like Limetown, was Limetown the first one I listened to? And it was like audio dramas is what they are. They aren't really podcasts, but they are put in podcast format. I was just happy that she added ACOTAR to her list of books that changed her life.
Didn't change my life. I thought we were on the same team.
I think she liked the idea of like it took her somewhere else while she was like washing her dishes. And maybe you should try Limetown. And it's a podcast format.
I don't have time for books right now. I'm not in a book season. I have to take a break.
Take a break.
Summertime. I don't even know. It's chaotic.
What is this? Realizing I'm an actual boss?
This is funny. Can I tell it from my POV?
Mm-hmm.
Talking to Hannah yesterday, I believe, and she is talking to someone she works with, and the person is sharing information. She didn't tell me, by the way, if anyone's listening, any of our 4 listeners, like no HIPAA was messed up here. And she said, I don't know why this person was telling me this. I said, you're the boss. She had this moment where she was like, oh my gosh, I'm their boss. And I said, sister, we're about to readjust your job description because I hope your bosses are one of our 4 listeners. Listen, sirs, we need to readjust her job description and put some respect on her paycheck because what you hired her to do and what she's actually doing are so insanely different.
It's true.
Anyway, she manages a team and she didn't even know.
And I've been managing this team since last July, to be perfectly honest. And just now was I like, oh wait, they answered.
Mary Kate.
She's gonna lose it.
She is gone. She is gonna lose it. Listen, she's a 1 also, right? An Enneagram 1. What's the triangular whatever? She can quickly go to an 8 fired up. Is that like a direct line?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think we're in the triangle. I go to 5. Okay, sorry, we're back. So listen, would you say, Mary Kate, the definition of being a team leader is if you are giving direct reports guidance on how to do their job, if they are talking to you, if they need to take time off, if they're coming to you with questions? Sounds to me like you're managing a whole team.
Yeah.
They have to they have to be accountable to me on their appointment. I'm like, oh, I'm their boss. There's very little like strong structure in the role that I'm in right now. Let's be real. So
you're like, somehow my pay grade doesn't reflect the responsibilities.
But I love my little team, and they get a Monday team text message every Monday. I'm like, they're probably annoyed by it. They're like, my boss is texting me on a Monday morning.
What did you just say?
My boss.
Sure did.
I usually say coworkers. I'm like, oh, these are my coworkers. But I'm like,
I just squirreled. Listen, outside on the sidewalk outside of the Penny this past weekend, I saw someone that I knew from college. I don't know this person very well, but I know him. We were a couple ages different, but he was in an FFA position. So he signed my state degree and then he became the national president, signed my national degree. I think that's kind of interesting. Anyway, he was just appointed to, I guess, the Supreme Court of Oklahoma. And it popped up on my feed yesterday, and I loved so much. I was like, I just saw him on the sidewalk outside of the Penny. And I was like, he's one of us. He was at CCR, and I enjoyed that. He's like a rural, small-town boy. But I thought that was, I don't know, interesting. I thought it was funny.
I love that I had to set up a house inspection on a house that one of my buyers is purchasing. And the inspector, she was at the Friday concert. She was like, did you have as much fun as I had? And I was like, she flew in. I was like, that was smart.
Oh, like she flew into Stillwater proper, like to the Stillwater airport. I love that airport.
Yeah.
Love it.
Can we talk about how we're sitting at the concert and we're talking to these guys behind us, right? And the whole time, one of the guys, I'm like, God, he looks familiar. This guy looks so familiar. And finally, we turned to each other, and I was like, I know you. And he goes, I know you too. And I was like, were you one of Dr. Peel's TAs? He's like, Yeah. And I was like, Joel? And he goes, Mary?
This actually happened.
Yeah, this actually happened. And so
do you know this part, Mary, or do you know this part, Hannah? He was with me, not with me, but he was on the VIP patio, had a table 2 tables over from us where we were. He was 2 tables from us. I hugged him at the Penny.
No.
But then he started asking me about Brooke, and then he asked about our podcast.
Oh, no,
He's one of our 4 listeners. Shout out to Joel Ambrose.
Joel!
We had a friend in college who knew him on a level.
Okay, yeah, speaking of that, well, the buddy goes, you didn't happen to get any of that special tutoring, did you? And I was like, no, sure didn't.
I did hear that.
Finally, the roommate was like, yeah, I don't think I remember seeing you at our house at all. I'm like, yeah, you sure didn't.
And she's back.
Do you know how hard it's going to be to edit this freaking thing when I have 50 million video clips?
Listen, I think let this be an experiential anecdote of what it's like to have something exist outside of a group chat. A meetup took 3 years. A podcast barely happens.
I'm just hoping it will, because it's in the same session, it'll magically meld everything together.
I think it'll be great.
I think it's good.
I think it'll be fantastic. One of the things I enjoyed from hearing Mary's play-by-plays via phone call yesterday from the trip was when her crew that she brought with her from East Texas thought it was so funny that in one of her stories included how she and I had to leave a house party and I had to drive to my college job at 9:30 at night. And they were like, why was she going to a work meeting at 9:30 at night? And Mary Kate was like, because she couldn't lose her job. She had to get paid. And they were like, no, why would the meeting at 9:30? It was like, there was college girls, they have class and stuff. That's the only time we can meet. How ridiculous. Could you imagine if someone told children now, college children, hey, we're going to have a team meeting at 9:30 p.m. They would say, I'm sorry, I'm applying moisturizer to my face.
When I stopped, because y'all know I drove into College Station early, and when we were leaving, we picked up tacos, as we do. On the way out of College Station, I walked into Coco Loco to grab our tacos, and first off, there was a group of sorority girls that looked so young. I was like, that had me feeling pretty old. But then there was 2 boys, with their books open on their tables, discussing a book at 8 in the morning. And I was like, is this the world healing? Are these boys here having a book club at 8 in the morning at Coco Loco? This is making my heart happy. I think these kids are doing it a little bit better than we did it, hopefully.
One of my favorite things, Carl and Hannah and I are walking to you toward Joe's. And I said, there were college girls just kind of gallivanting, and they are beautiful. They just all look so cute and they looked adorable. And I said, I don't know what is in the water. I did not look like that in college. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I didn't. I've seen pictures. And Carl goes, I said, what was in the water? And she goes, no, they're drinking water. They're drinking it. That is, they're hydrating. They're drinking water. They're taking care of themselves. We would go weeks without drinking water.
What?
We would Febreze our hair before class because we didn't have time to
I Febrezed my hair once before I had to go to a client meeting because I worked at, oh my gosh, what was it called? Dr. Cindy Blackwell was my supervisor. It was an internship where we got clients for a whole semester and we did their website and stuff. And we went on a staff meeting and I had to Febreze my hair. But you could smoke in the bar then. That was the problem. Now, these girls are drinking water and no one's smoking in the bar. We weren't smoking, we weren't smoking. The people were smoking, so our hair soaked it up.
That was always the worst part about going to the bar, is if you went to the bar where it smelled like cigarette smoke, because you did your hair, you weren't going to be able to wear your hair to class the next day, so it's going to reek of cigarette smoke just because it was around you. Something we also heard that I can't get out of my head, we went and had breakfast Saturday morning before we came and met with y'all. We asked the girl, hey, what's your favorite thing on the menu? And she's like, oh, this burrito or whatever. And she was like, it slaps harder than a sissy fight.
What's that?
I can't get
what do you mean a sissy fight? Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
And I keep thinking about she's like, that burrito, she's like, it slaps harder than a sissy fight. And I was like, What did she
Where did you go? Where were you?
Granny's.
Oh, on Main Street? It's
One of
good.
the kids had a Granny's, and it was like the Dirty Granny, which they have a Dirty Granny omelet, I guess, but he had a Dirty Granny t-shirt on. I was like, where are we? What is this? The food was 10 out of 10. It was delicious. It was so good.
Was it called Mom's? Remember that place where we would go get breakfast? Was it Mom's?
Yeah, it's gone. I think
Yeah,
the county
so
condemned
sad.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, I feel sorry for all the people that traveled to Stillwater that did not get the VIP experience, because Hannah Moe got the VIP experience. The people that came with me got the VIP experience. They didn't just go to the concert. They got
Do
to
you
really
mean
experience
people
Stillwater.
who, like, people who've never been to Stillwater? Is that what you mean?
Right. People who've never
Okay.
been to Stillwater, and they just came for the concert, but like the people that came with me, they had never been, but like they got to experience the real true Stillwater, what it's like to go to college there.
Hannah Moe picked me up in a pasture to take me to the bar. Yeah, we're never going to be able to use this again. She will not. This isn't working.
Hey, when you know you like join a conversation midstream and you're just trying to like see what's going on, that's how I feel today. The whole
time.
I just midstream, like, I hope I can keep up.
I do love that for you. You're not having a great time. You're having a time, but not a great time.
You know what I found out last night? And I sent this to you guys immediately. Blue-eyed Kayla Jade is a mom. She's a mom. She has 2 kids and an ex-husband. And it sounds like she just like keeps everybody afloat, and he stays at home with the kids. And apparently
So
she
he clearly lives in a separate house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But they co-parent, and he, like, apparently she just brings in the cheddar and he stays at home with the kids. My question is, what do they tell the kids that mom does for a living?
Entertains.
Like, how do you, like, she keeps odd hours, so you can't be like, she's a loan officer or, you know, a bank teller. Like, you can't say that.
I don't know. That would be really hard conversation. They can't even say the full, they say S worker now instead of, but she's making that money. So I think we talked about this last time, but it was like on TikTok, I've been seeing the TikToks where it's like, give me your best advice about X. Now I'm being served the ones that are like, give me your most unhinged advice about X.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of them recently were travel hacks.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people are like they keep a duty-free bag, and like that's how they, like that's their second carry-on or whatever, because if you buy duty-free, I guess. Someone said that they buy a seat they buy their seat and they buy the 2 seats just normal. And they buy these 2 seats next to them as refundable, and they refund them like 24 hours before they go on the flight. And they almost always get a full seat. And I was like, that's clever. Okay, so I saw the one about travel, so I just told Brooke about that. But now I just saw one about like to see if he's cheating. When I tell you, if the CIA needs some recruits, they need to hop on TikTok.
What do you mean? Someone says, so it's like the step above those Facebook groups. It's like, are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
So what is it?
So there's like, this one got me, like if you're looking through your partner's phone, like where to look to see if they're spending a lot of time, you can go into their settings and see where they're spending the most time. No one's using a calculator 10 hours a day. That calculator is like actually a messaging app. People message through the Notes app, which we know because we use a shared notes for this.
Oh, the kids are doing that. So the kids in school who can't text or whatever but have Chromebooks, they get like a Google Doc and they just type back and forth in the Google Doc.
Yes. Also, any kind of games like Words with Friends, there's messaging in Words with Friends. Did you know that?
No.
The other thing, this one's good. You let him hook up to your car to like play music, and then they'll leave and they come back in the middle of the night and they hook to his phone and they read through their text messages on their phone, like on the car screen.
Okay, this is not the same, but kind of. So Damon and I have a family email address, and it's what we use for everything, right? Like our Google Calendar, our doctor's office receipts, whatever. Anyway, in his truck, he's logged into it. So Google Maps is in his truck. And so obviously I'm logged into it on my phone. And so we're leaving Stillwater this weekend. And Google Maps was like, only 25 minutes as we're going through to like this boutique I went to last week after a girls' day. He got to laughing so hard because I was like, I don't even know what that is. But one of them showed up really, and it seemed super weird. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. I had to look it up. It was the wedding I went to the weekend before. It's the wedding venue. And Damon goes, this is how people get busted.
Yes.
Meanwhile, my husband just throws his phone in the trash at random gas stations.
Yeah, I have never, okay, this is true. I have only gone through one person's phone in my, like, as someone I've dated, and it was when I was like a young, dumb college kid. This is going somewhere. Anyway, like, obviously, I was not mature enough to be in any relationships at that age. If we're being honest, like, no one's mature enough at that age. I remember going through this person's phone and being like, who is this hussy sending my boyfriend spicy messages? Like, this is not a girl's girl. He wasn't doing anything shady, but the girl was. That girl was at the Penny this past weekend, and I was like, it's you. And she's always been nice to me, right? Like, she's always been nice. I was nice to her. It was fine. But in the back of my head, I was like, I know you're not a girl's girl because I read those messages 20 years ago. I'll never forget that. I know you're not a girl's girl.
I think about that. Like, there's been people where you're like, you break up or you take a break or whatever, and they're like, you hear from in the group, they're like, yeah, so and so said they're gonna try and go after him, and it's like, I think about those specific girls. I'm like, you're not nice girls. You're not nice girls.
Sneaky. As I've been teaching my kid, or I've been trying to. I think it'll go on for a long time. We use the term tricky people. Like, what's a tricky person? A tricky person that's someone that looks like a good person, but maybe isn't a good person. Those are tricky girls, Hannah.
I like that. I think Reed and I are going to have to start having that. I should probably say my child and I are going to need to start having that conversation. I did like I got served one that was like unhinged, like job ideas that aren't spicy. This one girl is doing these charcuterie carts for a party. So it's like a big cart, and she just preps it. It's like two things, and it has like grapes, strawberries, cheese. On the other side of the cart, there's like a little tray, and then there's like different kinds of crackers, and you leave it there. No one even mans it, and everybody makes their own charcuterie trays. And she gets like,
she's making a charcuterie buffet.
Yeah, but it's in this cutesy little cart, and she drops it off for parties. It's like a margarita machine rental.
Stephanie got one of those for my baby shower. I didn't get to hang out with that, but it was super cool.
The cheaters thing, the unhinged stuff. I mean, there was like the normal stuff where it's like, buy this recording device, and it was like the loop around, because you can't leave a Apple tag in someone's car and it not alert them. So they're like, oh no, you buy this GPS or you buy this watch and it charges for 4 days, and then you buy the adaptable charger and then you get 10 days of tracking their movements. And I'm like,
okay, hold on. I want to say this for any of our 4 listeners. If you're a young child, if you think for a second, I should track this person, I should go through their phone. If you're feeling vibes, bail. That's not your person. You're the right person. You'll never think that. You'll never wonder. Absolutely not, bail. Don't disrespect yourself by doing that. And also protect yourself. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's not even first marriage stuff. That's like young child stuff. Yeah. Like, stop that.
If you're having to do these things, it is not.
My favorite thing is like Joseph will be on his phone like this, right? And I always just kind of like, just do that to him. And he's usually like he'll be like on the weather app. And this is what he does. He'll be like, don't be looking at my phone.
Okay, this is funny. I was with my clients, Jonathan and Holly, and at this event in January, and she said, what is on your phone? And I have the thing where you can't read what I'm doing. It's like the dark thing. And she goes, what are you? And I said, oh, I don't care. You can have my phone. I don't care. And she goes, why do you have that? I said, because I can't sleep at night. And so I'm on my phone, like I'm doing stuff on my phone, and this makes it darker. Otherwise, my husband is like, turn your phone down. Like, I just have it so it's darker. Also, my husband, yeah, you can have my phone. I don't care. He has like 3 people he talks to ever. Like, I'm one and his dad is the other.
That's Joseph also. And I tease him because, like, when I go through his photos, it's like pictures of broken furniture. And I'm like, okay, you and your dirty messages and your dirty pictures.
Have we talked about this? You know, I do the yearbook, and so I sync to Damon's photos on his phone so I can pull them over. The majority of his photos are random pictures around the shop of like, I need to get this part when I get to the hardware store. Nothing spicy over there. Also, do you guys follow him on the Instagram?
Who?
Mr. Wildlife. Do you follow him?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
He's not active, right? He is not. He is active. He's on there every day, but he doesn't post. I'm not on there. I think I'm on there once from like 2018. He posted a concert picture. He had such a meaningful time. That voice from Oklahoma, he posted it on his Instagram. Isn't that so sweet? We're going to embed that in the show notes.
I broke my Facebook posting streak to post Stillwater pictures because I was that magical.
Oh my goodness.
If it was done so well, it was not hard to get into town. It was not hard to navigate town. It was so easy to get into places. It was so easy to get to the concert venue. I know that the merch lines were long, but there was 4 merch lines inside, 1 or 2 outside. I mean, honestly, it was all done and so well, and everybody embraced it. Like, even the gas station we stopped at when we were dropping Brooke back off in the pasture, like, had this cute little like sign that was just like excited that people were in town for the concert. Like, it was done so
cute.
well.
Can I tell you my grievance? I have a grievance for the concert. It doesn't matter. It already happened. But I have one. And that is, we watched that little green man. We hustled to get tickets. Like, I already had my tickets, so I hustled to get you guys tickets. We worked so hard to get tickets to the first show that sold, which ended up being the 3rd show. And I feel like the special things that happened were not our show. And I am salty about it. I'm salty that they didn't walk out to Taylor Swift at our show. I'm salty we didn't get Dirks. I'm salty we didn't get Parker. We did get Wyatt, which was great. We should have got everybody.
Facts.
We were the main show.
Facts. Yes. I'm so just like, we just got awkwardness. Like, can we talk about Stoney LaRue? Brother, you should have just gone to the house. I think you tried to sing Oklahoma Breakdown twice and didn't get through the whole song. And I'm like, brother, just 3 nights. By the 3rd night, you were done. Like, let's just go to the house.
I feel like that he struggled. Bless his heart. He used to be one of my favorites too. I haven't heard him in a long time.
Turnpike really just nailed it.
Turnpike was my favorite play. Like, they were my favorite playlist.
They did awesome.
Do you mean Stacy's husband and the band?
Yeah. When they sang "You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma," I damn near teared up because that's like one of my favorite songs.
I love that.
In one of the groups, they were like, Co Wetzel should have been there. And I was like, where is this like Co Wetzel should have been there? He's from Texas. He's a Texas boy.
Okay, well, because the whole thing was red dirt, but when they did their announcement, like on their Instagram, remember they were like, before they announced the concert and they were leaking stuff, there was one of the graphics was like a Christmas present and it said Co on it. And then Co has like a song about ragweed. Yeah. It's like a thing. Like he should have been there.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not like he was not doing anything. He was at Coachella.
Co Wetzel was at Coachella?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? It was not like he was just like like he wasn't being rude. Like, he just was booked.
I just can't believe when I was in college in Stephenville, America, he was Co in the Convicts. And I remember there was a bar, an apartment complex that had a community center in the middle. And the community center had been turned into a bar. And I can remember walking to that bar and Co and the Convicts were so drunk they could barely stand up singing a song. And I was like, who are these people? And there was a lot of people there. And then for him to years later rebrand and now be this like huge. Did y'all see Aaron Watson?
His daughter singing Taylor Swift?
No, given the tea on the back of his truck eating popcorn.
No.
Y'all need to look that up on TikTok.
What tea? What tea?
I guess there are 2 up and coming country artists. He doesn't say their names exactly. One of them, concert's happening, and I guess people are like throwing beer and stuff. So he like stops the concert and he's like,
y'all need new up and coming person.
Y'all need to quit it. There's a GD kid in the front row trying to enjoy this concert and you MFers, like just cussing and pissed and like, y'all need to stop it. He said, and then he said, this isn't a blank show of another artist. So then that other artist, I guess, like fired off a tweet or something and was like, sorry, you can't handle your fans.
Are we getting Meek Mill Drake? Are we getting a Meek Mill Drake experience?
Aaron Watson is sitting on his truck bed in his snake boots, eating popcorn out of a bag, telling this story, and I am living for it. I'm going to send it to y'all. I should have sent it to y'all yesterday. So then that guy comes, and he's like, sorry you can't handle your fans. Meanwhile, this guy had a very similar experience, and he, like, smashed his guitar on stage when he was mad at his audience. But it was just killing me that Aaron Watson is like, listen, guys, we're gonna have to chill out because like this is a really good time for country music, and y'all are ruining it. Y'all are ruining the vibes.
Go sit in the truck.
And I was just like, Aaron Watson, Daddy Watson is over here telling us how it's gonna be.
Okay.
Did you call him
Speaking
Daddy
of go
Watson?
sit in the truck, Friday night in Stillwater was like peak people watching. We hit the strip and we did the honky tonks, right? We're walking.
Did you call it a
along.
honky tonk?
Yeah, I said honky tonks. We're walking along and we're kind of standing at a point and we're like,
I'm not
around.
a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom. And we look, there is a guy passed out in the back of the truck. Like you can tell his friends put him there. And they
were like,
rolled
"You're
down
good."
the window and he's just sitting there in the back of the truck passed out. I'm like, what a good friend. They put him to bed and they even rolled down the window for him.
That's great. I appreciate that.
And the truck is literally parked right on the strip.
Okay.
And then at that same moment, this guy and this girl are fighting, right? They're going down the strip fighting. And she's like, I'm done. I want to go home. And he's just like, okay. And so she goes to turn and he grabs her by the shoulders and turns her and he goes, okay, but home is this way. And I was like, oh, memories.
Brooke and I passed this kid, and it was me, Brooke, and Carly. I think we were headed to the Penny, and we're giggling, and we see this group of boys, and he's like on the phone. He goes, "Hey, so I just got kicked out." We were like,
core memories were being made. Can I share that it was so unique to be a sober person at the bars?
Mm-hmm.
Like I enjoyed it. Like the people watching was great. On Saturday, we had a VIP table, and my friend I was with ordered a top shelf limey, which I did not know that you could do that. And I did have a few sips of that, so I wasn't like completely like, you know, I'm on hard drugs. I can't drink. Anyway, it was just like a unique experience to just like see and watch and whatever. It was just great. I think it was fun to watch other people creating core memories. Like that's the stuff they're going to be talking about 20 years from now. And then meanwhile, they're going to be old someday walking onto the strip way too early on a Friday night. And like the first person you run into that you know is part of the sheriff's department.
Okay, speaking of limeys, so we went to the Penny and I ordered limeys for everybody, right? I was trying to carry them. It was just Joseph and I was like, here, I can get them. And the lady goes, no, ma'am, legally, I can't let you walk away with all those limeys. I was like, I'm not going to drink all these. Like, I've been there, done that. So I take them over to our friends, right? And they look at me and they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, we used to have races drinking these in college. And they look at me and I'm like.
Also, do not recommend. That's a terrible idea. Do not do that.
And they're just like, you drank these all, like, this is what you, and I was like, yeah, I was kind of a handful in college.
Okay, listeners, as someone who was not familiar with the Penny, right? A limey is a 44-ounce styrofoam cup with vodka and a bunch of other stuff, which is
it used to be Everclear.
Yeah, it used to be Everclear, but
okay,
they had to change it because it would eat away at the styrofoam.
Okay, according to the O'Colly, it is vodka, triple sec, lime juice, and sour Sprite.
So I tasted Carly's, and I was like, these are dangerous because I haven't drank in a long, long time, and I taste no alcohol. I could see how these could get you into a lot of trouble.
Here is an O'Colly story. Not recent, but it is, I think this resonates. It's the top 5 drinks on the strip. The Bomb Pop, which you could get at College Bar. I don't know if College Bar still exists. This is old. The Sour Patch Kid. I did like that at the Cross-Eyed Cricket. That's not there anymore. The Jell-O shot, Murphy's. Yeah, we all know about that. You end it and it's in the syringe. But the limey is 4th. So I think the limey is now 2nd. I think the limey is the 2nd best thing you can get on the strip.
Do you remember at the Weed, cherry limeade ass kickers? Those also had Everclear in them.
Yeah, I forgot about those until just now, but yes.
They were $6. They were $6.
Sound like such lushes. I do life-saving medication as my drug of choice these days, so I'm not doing this or like a mini.
I might have like shared a lot of stories this weekend, and the whole time they're just like, and there was a lot of laughter. You know, trying to bum rides back into town, the things we would have to do to get a ride into town.
The POV of being a 38-year-old woman in your college town, which is also your hometown, is just so interesting to me because remember when I lived at 311 South Duncan, which is approximately 9 blocks away and across a main street, Duck. And I would just Irish exit the bar and walk home by myself at 1 a.m.
With no shoes on.
With well, yeah, like, because we all wore heels at the time, so I'd be barefoot. If I found out my child was doing that now, I would be distraught. Like, that is so unsafe. And Stillwater is a safe town, but like, what are you doing? Why did you make that choice? Like, please use an Uber account. Please walk in pairs. Like, you are a cute young girl. What are you doing? That is unsafe. What were we doing? I'm a mom now. Look at me. I'm a mom. I'm so uncool.
Guys, I found the trick. You know what I
For what?
realized? You have to just keep your mouse moving. When my mouse stops, then I think my computer's like, she doesn't want to be here anymore. And then it.
Okay, I think you're
notice?
right, because this whole time we've been doing this, I've been answering emails and setting up invoices for my clients. So I've been working in this screen to the left. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm not text messaging. I am working billable hours while we record a podcast.
Also,
Can
the
we
fact
count
that
Michael
watches
as
it.
one? Does that make us 4 listeners plus Michael?
Can we have an episode with the husbands?
My husband would not do that.
It would be, yes, he's going to.
It would be hilarious.
Because people probably want to know, because we talk about them all the time. They probably want to know. But
I
then
just
again,
want
the
people to
who-
know Jay's accent, you know? Like, that's it. Apparently, Hannah, I'm the only person who calls Joe Joe, apparently.
I heard that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
thought
but then
everyone
we
called him
started
that.
calling him Joe that weekend, or JP. And so they started calling him JP, and I'm like, that's funny. And then I looked down, he literally had JP embroidered on the shirt he was wearing.
Because he is so Southern, he has an embroidered shirt.
It was pretty funny. Great times.
I'm
Great.
laughing because my child has 2 embroidered shirts. They're both A&M shirts.
Okay, you need to get on Facebook and search the Facebook groups, because I'm in an LC Facebook group, like a monogram Facebook group, so you can get hand-me-downs from strangers.
Also, I feel like Reed's a pretty, like, country western name. How are we feeling?
I feel
I don't
good.
know.
I mean, it's going to take me, hopefully Riverside casts its magic and puts all these 1,000 video clips together into one session, or I'm going to cry.
Can you put this in the trailer? I don't feel like we were very funny today, and I'm nervous about it, but then you edit it, and like sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a funny clapback.
When we put it together, it always works out. But as we record, it's just like, we've shared some funny stuff, I think.
Why would anyone want to listen to us?
It'll come together.
It'll come together. I'll make it work. And if this is anything, a pitch for anybody who wants a podcast edited or produced, this is the magic that I
Are you
can pull
officially
out.
offering this service?
I
You are
am.
a podcast editor? That's great. Also, I'm a keynote speaker, now booking Q4. And that's a wrap for this episode of Out of the Group Chat Podcast. Subscribe where you stream. See our show notes at outofthegroupchatpodcast.com.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What the?
No help there. I was no help.
So
Where your setting? Oh, down here.
Okay. So Mary Kate should join soon.
guys, I'm here.
Guys, I'm here trying to talk to you. No, you're not. No, you're not. We don't see you. Guess who's having tech problems now? Not me. She's about to get so pissed off, like I get pissed off.
Son of a this stupid thing.
I can hear you now.